Sonic Super Special Magazine 10. We start out with Sonic running around Seaside Hill, certain that he could find some red rings. Since the reboot universe establishes that red rings are only generated in a place that has both rings and an emerald there, you'd think he would have been excited about finding an emerald as well if he already knows there's an emerald to find here. He'd be on his way to get an emerald too. But it turns out that this issue even being canon is debatable, and that's probably why, since it was released before Spark of Life, where the characters first find out red rings exist. It should have a text box saying that it's in a different universe then. He thinks that there's nothing to slow him down, and then he's startled by Tails, Knuckles, and Amy randomly showing up to wanting to look for red rings too. And Amy is suddenly flanderized, calling Sonic her love and saying to share this adventure in their lives. Definitely a different universe. This is character-breaking humor, where the character now fails to work as a relatable, proper person, but is harmless compared to her being mean. Why are they even bothering to show up and meet him? Shouldn't they know that he's so fast that logically he'd run through the entirety of Seaside Hill really quickly? They don't have a chance. And they should know better than to slow him down in his mission. We're not told that they poured a Sonic tonic on their shoes to be as fast as him. And it sure is lucky for them that all of them happen to go to the exact same place with no coordination to see Sonic. Sonic complains because he wants 5 minutes to himself, as apparently, she's with him most of the day, every day. Then he trips over some log because he was looking at her, and she impresses me because she can do the spin dash and go under it, like she's Sonic Advance 2 Amy and she has Sonic Speed 2. Why can't you do that in a lot more of the comics? We see him trip, but don't see him fall, which was off-putting. It kinda defeats the point of the joke if you don't even get to see the result, and there's no indication of a time skip. And since when can Knuckles run as fast as Sonic? He wouldn't have kept up with him for all that time he was talking. It's actually a bit heartwarming to see Knuckles so happy and jovial saying that those red rings are his. At first it looked mean of him. He's not a sociopath, he's supposed to be his friend. This is only a bit heartwarming because it's nice to see Knuckles enthusiastic about something. I'm wondering why he isn't guarding the emerald, since this is clearly a different universe. I guess it's shattered now, or there isn't one, or it's guarded by someone else. Since nobody actually cares enough about the story to put it all online for preservation's sake, not even in review form, I was forced to read about the rest of this from a wiki. I could always order the issue for myself, but I guess I wouldn't get anything out of it that I wouldn't already have from just reading about it. And it's not like the dialogue will be super interesting. And I don't have a camera for taking pictures of it anyways. So apparently the wiki tells me that Knuckles pushed Sonic into that totem pole. The art clearly sucked then, because I thought he simply ran into it. There should have been an extra panel showing him push him. Sonic narrowly avoids being trapped in Amy's hug, and then runs off the side of a cliff where a red ring floats nearby, naturally outrunning his friends. And after he grabs the ring, he inexplicably has a 180 personality change from the antisocial loner, because he suddenly says his friends can join him. But then he says they have to keep up. They obviously wouldn't be able to keep up with him if he was actually trying with his running. And the story's already over. I still saw most of the story, so it's not like I really missed much by not buying the issue yet. So this issue is by Ian Flynn, and it's about Sonic wanting to go find red rings, for no apparent reason, and getting joined by Knuckles, Tails, and Amy when he wanted to find them alone. It was alright, I guess, but not enough is explained. How did any of them find out that there would be red rings in this place? We should have been told in his redundant thought bubbles on the first page why he knew to come here. Like maybe someone came here and told Sonic that they're there to help him out. And he doesn't want his friends to help him because he thinks they'll slow him down. Why do they want to get the red rings and keep them for themselves? I can only imagine the red rings having value if it's because they have energy that can be harnessed for something. But they're all supposed to be on the same side. Wouldn't they all want to get the red rings for Tails and work together? Knuckles wouldn't say that they're all his. What would he do with them? It would have made a lot more sense if we were told that rather than going after red rings, maybe they were going after baseball cards or something. They're acting like they're going to collect stuff that only exists to be collected. I wouldn't be confused if Knuckles hadn't said those red rings are his. Then I'd just be thinking that Sonic didn't want them around because they would slow him down. And they did because talking to them distracted him into getting slapstick. But it's not funny slapstick because he's invincible. He's in pain for one panel. We don't even see him fall when he trips. And he's not bruised afterwards. Slapstick is supposed to get characters hurt. That's the point. And that was apparently the whole draw of the story because that's all that actually happened in it. It doesn't even have a proper ending where Tails uses the red ring in his lab. Barely anything happens in the story. And it has such a simplistic plot. When the entire summary of it on the wiki is just one paragraph, that makes it seem like not much effort was put into it. Like it didn't have enough pages to be interesting. I guess I understand why, because it's an adaptation of a mobile game, so I guess the writer was forced into it and just rushed out a few pages. But it's disappointing because it could have easily had the worthless first page involve Sonic thinking about why he wanted the red rings and knew they were here, and we could be told why all of its other friends wanted the red rings. Instead, the whole premise seems a bit forced. It's not like they're looking for rare Pokemon cards, or delicious sandwiches hidden for the heroes by a Subway restaurant. That would work the best. Well, even then that wouldn't make sense, because I just wonder why people don't give them to the heroes directly instead of making them go on a scavenger hunt. I guess it makes the most sense if they were looking for Easter eggs on Easter. People do scavenger hunts there. The Easter eggs would be like delicious chocolate. That would work the best because that makes sense as something that all of them would believably want to keep for themselves. And they'd know where it is because the owner would go tell Sonic about it. We could have been shown that in one panel. What's the point of writing the story if the writer wasn't motivated to tell us why the whole thing happened? Also, the story is technically uncreated because it's just based on Sonic Dash. It's in a location I've already seen before with nothing but familiar characters and objects. But I still found it interesting because I've never seen them competing with each other trying to collect things before. They're not acting like they're friends. And it's been forever since I've seen Amy portrayed like this. So even this was refreshing to me. I'm glad it was in Seaside Hill because it could have easily been Green Hill Zone instead. And I actually remembered it as being there because it could take place anywhere for all the difference it made. Sonic could have run to a Tiki statue in Green Hill or Emerald Hill or even Marble Garden Zone too, if it really wanted to take advantage of Seaside Hill as a unique place. It would have had the unique set piece of that level. My point is, this story had too little actually happen in it for me to outright love it. And I was just distracted by how confusing the whole thing was because it wasn't explained at all. We aren't told the value of the red rings in the universe. And Sonic's friends just look like idiots for thinking they had any chance of collecting stuff before Sonic did. This whole plot wouldn't have happened. We should have been told that it's an alternate universe where they all have Sonic speed, and Knuckles doesn't have a job to do.